Welcome back to Everyday, my channel here on YouTube. Happy to be back, and I want to talk about work. I started working full-time when I was 13 years old. Somebody was willing to pay me to wash dishes. I could come in as early as I wanted, even on school days. I could stay as late as I wanted. I could work the entire day if I wanted to, Saturdays and Sundays included. I got 3 meals, always lasagna, chocolate mousse, prime rib, and a salad. I mean, every single day I was being fed. I loved it, and the fact that someone would pay me to come and show up and wash dishes was exciting to me, and I made a lot of money for someone my age, 13. It ended up I could buy my own clothes and shoes and stuff like that. But I noticed something about work. I love it, but not everybody loves it. And I noticed that some people put these boundaries on themselves as to how much work they're actually capable of doing that has nothing to do with reality and is nothing close to the work that they're capable of doing. And I noticed this about SDRs particularly, but it crosses all job titles. If you're an SDR and the first job you get into, somebody says, I need you to make 20 outbound dials a day, you will think that 20 outbound dials a day is good and that that's what's necessary to succeed, even though you really might need to make 40 or 60 or 80 dials to succeed and actually make your number. Or maybe if you're great at it and you've got super good chops on the phone, maybe you only need to make 8 dials a day to be able to make your number because you're just so much more effective. It's just an artificial number that somebody put there to try to drive up productivity high enough to ensure that they reach their goals. Not you, the sales manager. That's their version of what has to happen to reach goals, not your personal goal, their goal. But if I were to take that same person and say their first job is not going to be someplace where you make 20 outbound dials, instead it's going to be a place where you make 80 dials a day, they won't know any different. And if everyone around them is making close to 80 dials a day, they'll make something close to 80 dials a day, not knowing that somewhere else, those people might be saying, how would they make 80 dials a day? I can't even imagine doing that. But they imagine it and they do it, and it ends up that they're more productive for having done it. They make more attempts, and by making more attempts, they tend to have better activity, and better activity tends to drive better results. And it doesn't matter. I understand there can be a difference between the people dialing 20 and the people dialing 80, but all things being equal, more activity in this case probably is going to generate better results, and it's going to help people be more effective so they don't have to make so many dials. But the barrier is artificial. It could have been 40, it could have been 60, it could have been 71, and if that's what you were told, that's what you believe, even though it has nothing to do with what you're capable of. If you work someplace where 20 dials is required, you can certainly make 80 dials, and there's nothing stopping you but you and the expectation of your boss who set the bar low enough that you don't have to really push yourself. That's the difference. And I've been thinking about this a couple ways. When you think about the 40-hour work week, it was Ford who started a car company who was working people 48 hours and recognized they need rest because they were doing heavy labor, and he took their 48-hour work week and made it a 40-hour work week. As the industrial age went on, unions negotiated with companies for weekends off, 5-day work week, 40 hours a week. That is now about 100 years old right now. That's about a 100-year-old idea. And we're not doing physical labor, and we're not exhausted, and there's nothing to stop you from working more hours or working on weekends if you want to, and if that would make you happy, and if that would allow you to reach your goals. The point that I want to make all of this is that whatever you believe about work, whatever you believe you're capable of, it's probably not your belief to begin with. It's probably not serving you. You're probably capable of doing more work. You're capable of doing better work. And you can't let someone else's expectation of you and their expectations for you dominate your thinking so much that you don't produce the very best job and the very best work that you're capable of, and that you don't do the work, meaning hours and time spent, that you want to do to reach your own goals. Don't let anyone set an artificial barrier or a set of beliefs that don't serve you in your mind and infect you with that. Be infected with something better. Choose your own beliefs. Do what's necessary to reach your own goal. I'm Anthony Iannarino. This is Everyday. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.